Okay, we are recording. Hi guys. We were having some problems with our live stream working.
Crazy technical stuff.
Yeah, apparently internet problems. But hello, again. We are SJ and Russ of the Z Ghost Chat series. Um, our focus for our show, if you didn't get that much on our live stream, is that we're going to be talking a lot about not only ourselves but others in the paranormal community about the possible dangers that we've ran across or heard about or whatever of the paranormal. And so we're going to go into a lot of detail. So I hope you guys will keep watching every webisode. Um, from now on, we decided that our shows are going to be pre-recorded, much easier to deal with and easier for us to load onto Facebook, to YouTube, to Vimeo.
Well, apparently live streaming isn't live.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's really messed up.
It's very buffering, and I just don't care for it. So that account's going bye-bye. So don't even pay attention to that anymore. So when you want to find us, you will find us on YouTube at Z Ghost Chat Series, which I'll post this video tonight. This is our introduction show, and so let's get into it.
Howdy.
Hi. One of the things that we're going to talk about right now is the possible dangers that we have encountered, doing paranormal investigations, and maybe you've had the same issues. So anyway, Russ is over here texting when he should be on the show.
Oh, sorry, it's our good friend Dan Norvell. He'll watch this later.
But anyway,
we didn't know this was going to happen.
One of the things that I want to talk about right now is the attacks that can happen.
They're very real.
Yeah, and Russ can tell you about one. For years and years, we never thought that you could really be harmed by ghosts or any type of entity. So I'm gonna let him tell you a little bit about what happened to him at the old Montana prison in Butte, Montana.
Well, it was just another investigation. Nothing felt real off except for I think we had a little too much agitating going on. You can piss them off, and when they get to that stage, they can get violent. They build up a lot of energy, I think, and it just explodes. Apparently, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Reminded the entity of a person, alive or dead, who knows, maybe a guard, maybe another inmate, who knows. And I was in a cell, and you know how you feel when you're either climbing, when you're in a car and you're going up a mountain, or you're in an airplane and you're climbing, or you're descending. Your ears, they load up and you have to move your jaw around, clear your ears out, pop you, whatever you want to call it. That happened. And at that time, I knew something was there, something was up. So yeah, we got it on audio, no video, but we got the audio of it. That I sensed it, and it wasn't more than a second later. You could hear more than, I don't know. I heard it more than I felt it at first, of this invisible, I don't know, nightstick cutting through the air. I mean, it made a sound as it was coming at me, and when it hit me, it lifted me up off the ground, threw me about 3 feet backwards into a wall, and I didn't feel too good about that. Bruised my upper chest up in here, or below my chest. Scared me to death. And it's changed my opinion a lot, really. It's not the necessary driving force behind me not wanting to do much more investigating. Personally, I'm like my wife. I don't need all that proof. I've seen it. I've experienced it. I've been in the hot situations, the real haunted stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's some scary stuff. It really is. And it should be handled by experienced, seasoned investigators, really.
Okay, one thing I do want to say, and it's very important for you to understand about our show, or and webisodes, is that we're not trying to convince you not to be a paranormal investigator.
No.
Because we know how important it is to us. I mean, we enjoy it. We've done it so many years, and the thing is that we want any new investigators that are coming out right now or have recently come out to start investigating to make sure that you know what we're talking about and understand it.
Right.
Because once you connect with the other side, there's this, oh gosh, what am I trying to think of?
Your batteries get drained.
Yeah, I mean, there's almost like an illness you get, and you get weakened by being around spirit energy. You get
Anybody that I've ever met that's had an encounter
physically ill.
where they've been walked through,
Uh-huh.
the physical walkthrough of an entity, and you can feel the cold and the body temperature change, but you also get fatigued.
Mm-hmm.
They take away from you. I mean, they have to.
And it's even more complicated if you are a sensitive or psychic or medium.
Yeah.
Because there was a line in a movie that I heard one time, and I'll share it with you. You may have heard it. Is that when a medium or a psychic or a sensitive connects with a spirit, that spirit takes a piece of them with them. And that's literally true. Because I know that for facts, when I go, after we get done with an investigation and I go home, I'm exhausted for 3 days. It's like somebody has taken me and just unplugged me from my energy. So paranormal investigators that have been doing this as long as we have, or nearly as long, truly understand how exhausted we get.
Again, I'll give you an example. We were, where were we? Virginia City? And where was that? Is that Nevada?
Which one?
Where we had that hitchhiker come with us after we left the graveyard.
Oh, that was in Virginia City, Montana.
Yes. We were up where these graves were. There were like, what, 7 of them?
Well, no, there's 5 of them. I'll tell you the backstory behind it real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
There were 5 men hanged inside one of the buildings in the town. They took their bodies up on the hill and buried them. And maybe what I might do is when I post this video, I might put some pictures in with it so you guys can see what we're talking about. Because we were just recently there, last year?
Yeah.
And anyway, so these guys were hanged, and now they're buried up on the hill. I mean, they were robbers or something. But anyway, so we went up there on the hill, because the first time we'd actually been up there, and we were just looking around, taking photos, doing video, and then...
Just doing our thing.
Yeah, and then this happened.
Yeah, we get ready to leave. I go to get behind the wheel. I feel everything is okay. And then it was like from, I don't know, when I started the car maybe, or maybe put it reverse or turn it around or whatever I did, from that moment on, it was instantaneously like I didn't even know how. I've been driving, professionally trained truck driver, had CDLs, all that stuff. So I know how to drive. And I tell you, I felt like I absolutely did not know what to do. Sandy was telling me to pull over, and I'm freaking out.
I thought he was having a stroke.
How do I pull over? What do you know? And finally, I did get the car pulled over. We changed drivers, and we're continuing to go down the road.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so sudden. Because what we think happened is we believe that while I was there, one of these guys just decided to hitchhike, mm-hmm. and it can happen. We have other friends,
and it jumps inside you.
Yeah, we've had other friends that's had tag-alongs, hitchhikers,
attachments, whatever you want to call it.
These things will follow you, but we think that it attached with me. as I got into the car, it basically wanted to take over and experience whatever it could. And then when we got to the limits of its boundary, it seemed like a giant rubber band
No,
or something. I don't know what happened.
first he passed out. And his head just dropped, and I thought, oh my God, I was going to have to rush him to the hospital, And then all of a sudden he was back awake, and he was totally himself.
Able to drive.
And it was like he was saying, it was almost like a rubber band had grabbed hold of the spirit and just yanked it back.
And it just drained me. It just wiped me out. So,
I'd never seen anything like that ever.
No.
In all the 35 years that we had, and it seemed like every year that we did investigations, we always ran across something new.
Yeah,
something we didn't understand and had never experienced before.
It was one up from the last year. Always one up from last year.
Right.
I don't think we've ever really had a boring year.
No. We've always, we've done literally thousands of investigations across the United States. But some of the ones that really, like this one, really sticks out in our minds and makes us wonder if just how much we really don't know about the paranormal, how much they can do, and how much they really can affect our lives.
Well, I'm not going to go into names because of client privilege. So, but we've actually had a client that literally died from attachment.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how scary this stuff is.
She was a young girl. She was psychic.
Yes.
She was having a very bad visitation from actually an attachment from a dark spirit. We did everything that we could. We tried to contact some of the more well-known people in the paranormal, but you obviously, you probably know like we do that they're very busy. So it's very hard for them to get back to people sometimes.
I can't imagine the amount of requests that they get.
Yes.
So
or
no
similar
blame.
things.
No blame.
No blame.
No.
But we lost that girl, and I tell you, to this day, that rips me apart.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to say for this show is, if you are young, or you are just starting out, you're interested in the paranormal, please understand that it is not like it is on TV. Sometimes you just don't walk out of places without problems.
I tell you what, if you're coming in this stuff skeptical, you're coming in with an open mind, fantastic, wonderful. If you're a non-believer and you're coming in to believe, great. Whatever your reasoning is for being as an investigator is perfectly fine. More power to you. I got a warning. One little simple warning. This shit's real. Mm-hmm. Ghosts are real.
Yes.
Don't ever even hesitate that thought.
Yeah, don't doubt.
Nope.
Because, there's so much out there right now. I don't know whether it's miscommunication, whether it's envy, jealousy, ego.
I don't know.
Whatever it is.
When we started out, the mom and pops of our generation, of what started it for us, the Warrens. Okay?
Yeah.
And they were really open about what they got.
Yes.
That's the way we are.
And they dealt with some really dangerous entities.
Yes.
And you guys all know that.
So does John Zaffis.
And John Zaffis now.
Yeah.
Bill Bean. You name it. There's a lot of people out there that do this that truly understand that there's some horrific dangers when it comes to paranormal investigating. But, like we said, we're not trying to scare anybody off.
No.
We are trying to make it very clear all the things that we know as investigators that need to be understood. Because if you don't understand them, you could get hurt, right?
You aggravate by misinterpreting what is actually going on. The entity gets agitated, they build up power, they take it out on the one that's closest to them, and that you might be the only, just in the line of fire. My attack in the Montana prison, I don't hold that against anybody. I don't hold that against the entities. I don't hold it against the person that agitated them in the first place.
Mhm.
It was just something that happened.
Right.
But the whole thing of it is, now when I go in there, and I haven't been, honestly, I haven't been back. Isn't that something?
Well,
Not to that cell.
no.
I mean,
And we know exactly what cell it is.
I've been doing this a long time, and that's probably one of the places. And I'll go anywhere. I'll go in holes that ain't been nobody's been in 100 years. I don't have a problem with that. And for some reason, you want to know how real it is? I won't go in that cell.
Yeah. It took
Scares
us,
me.
during that investigation, it took us about an hour to convince him to get back on the horse, so to speak, because if he didn't, he would never go back. That's what can happen. I've known people that have been thrown against the wall, that have been terribly scratched and pushed downstairs and had things thrown at them.
Well, see, and that's another place we want this show to go. Is we won't be able to take, and have people send in their concerns, send in what's happened to them, and share it and talk about it and get it out there and get an understanding of what can happen. Because I don't know, I've heard of a lot of different things that's happened to paranormal investigators over the years, and we're talking death.
Mm-hmm.
Death.
Now, these are the possibilities we want to talk about. One of them is getting ill from doing paranormal investigations.
Ghost sickness, basically.
Yeah, a ghost sickness is what we call it.
Yeah.
People that have had heart attacks and strokes, and these are all people that have been doing this for a very long time, so they understand the dangers. But black mold sickness,
Unexplained accidents.
cancer. I mean,
or untimely
the
accidents.
question is for you guys is this a possibility? These are things that we need to really study more and document, because there's a lot of people out there thinking this is all fun and games, but in reality, you could get sick.
Well, it is good entertainment.
It is.
But it is.
Is it the risk that you want to take?
Yeah.
Is it something like when we're talking about attachments? Is it something you want to bring home to your children? Is it something that you want to bring home at all? How do you get rid of them once you do bring them home?
Yeah.
That's the problem. We have a friend. His name is Ghost Hunter Dan Norvell, and
What's up, Dan?
Hey, Dan. And he lives in Illinois. He went to a cemetery with his team. Came home, had an attachment.
Something came with him.
That quick.
Yep.
And he's got 2 children.
Yep.
So now you tell me that didn't worry him, because at the time, he didn't have any idea how to get rid of it. So he contacted me and another friend of ours in Tacoma, here in Washington, and we had to do a remote clearing.
It worked.
It worked, thank God.
That's where teamwork comes in. That's something else we'll get into. How to work with each other in between, when you go into a job, and like I say, if you're one person doing the job, that job's really hard for the one person to do. If you got many hands, it makes light work. You know what I mean? You got multiple opinions coming in that can help you look at it from multiple different levels and angles, not to just listen to one conclusion and base your finding off just one thing. Having all them people come together and discuss it and finding something that might be in the middle. Yeah, it could be haunted. Sure, it could be a loose floorboard.
Mm-hmm.
You have to remember, sometimes when some people, and it'll happen, you'll find it, if they're really, I don't want to speak badly of people, but you can tell if you're dealing with someone that might have mental issues.
Mm-hmm.
We've had customers that have mental issues. And so you have to be careful with stuff like that, because that can turn into a different type of life and death situation that you don't really want. We've had people lock the doors, deadbolt the daggum doors behind us.
Right after we walked in the door.
Machetes, guns, everything laying around, and on top of that, blood. Okay? Yeah. You talking about, and I'm the only guy with a 7-woman team investigation. Were there 7 women?
No. There was
5 women.
3 guys and to us.
Yeah, but I was the only guy inside.
Yeah, because the other guys hadn't got there yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was just me and Russ and another investigator that we know.
That's where you start thinking, you know, you got to use your head when you're in those kind of situations and gently talk your way out of it, you know,
Right.
without being an alarmist or,
Mhm.
you know, freaking them out. But it happens. And then you get genuine people that have a haunting that's going on that they think they're nuts.
Mhm.
And you need to prove their sanity to them
Yes.
by giving them, and it doesn't matter what evidence you get. Share it with your customer. Share it with that customer, with your client.
Mhm.
A snip of a photo, a little bit of an EVP. Don't put the answer in their head. Let them look at it and give you the answer.
Let them look at or let them listen to it, and see what they hear.
Right.
Now, there's so much. I mean, there's like a book about this thick about the paranormal and what happens in investigations and what should or should not happen in investigations. We have ran across some really amazing people that we now call friends that are investigators. We have also ran across some people that are just new and they have a lot to learn. They take risks and they're just not thinking straight. So what we want to do with the show is we're going to have different people that are fairly well known in the paranormal community come on with us. Even though these aren't going to be live, we will pre-record them with them. The next one we'll be doing is on March 9th at the Spooked in Seattle Ghost Tours building with our guests and friends, Ross Allison and June Nixon, who are investigators for a ghost. And
that should be a kick in the pants.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast.
I've never been there.
Yeah.
So I can't wait. I get to see all the stuff.
You'll get to see them on the video, not us. You can hear it. You'll be able to hear us, but you won't be able to see us because I want to focus on them. So we're going to talk about, or what I want to talk about is the main topic will be communicating with spirits and how that can bring in some issues. From being a spirit medium to being a paranormal investigator to being a newbie, I guess if you want to call them that. There's a big difference.
Well, I mean, green. Let's just say green investigators that come in. They see it on TV. It's looking pretty cool. They got a pretty good game plan to get some really cool equipment. They go out. They don't know what they're doing.
But they see what they do. Most people base their first investigations until they learn more on what they've seen on TV. It's a good guide.
It is.
But what a lot of people think is you have to go out and buy all these new gadgets and anything that those guys on TV say you need to have, you go out and buy one when you're spending a lot of money. Russ and I guess you could call us old school investigators because our favorite toys to take to investigations are a thermometer, a digital thermometer, the handgun kind.
Get them at auto parts store or anything.
An EMF meter, a simple EMF meter to do baseline readings.
Right.
We don't use that for anything else. Cameras, video, voice recorders.
I would really like to go back to tape.
Yeah, I would like to go back to cassettes.
Yeah.
Because to be honest with you, they got the best EVPs. I don't know why.
I don't know. It just sounded better.
We think it has something to do with the energy collecting on the magnetic tape.
Yeah.
That's the best guess we have.
Something. I don't know.
And
I'm not a scientist by any means, and I would leave that up to their learned hands to figure out why.
Oh.
But it just seems that way.
And another thing we want to talk about is we are totally not, and I repeat, not against anyone who has a haunted location who wants to, what do they call it? Refurbish it because it's historical. Love it. So that means they usually have to allow people to come in and do investigations. They make a little money on the side. We have no problem with that. The only problem that we have is that a lot of times people that come to investigate there, I don't know, are people that usually are not investigators.
Right.
They're like people that come with other people, and they don't know what they're doing, whatever. A lot of them are investigators, but most of them are just like wannabes who want to just go in and do a haunted location.
Tag along for the thrill.
Right. So, what was the point I was trying to make here? Oh my God. That's what happens when you get older. I'm telling you, we've been doing this too long. But the point is these are the kind of people that might think that ghosts are like in a flea circus, how, and then they perform on cue, and they do exactly what you tell them to do, and they won't hurt you, and these are the delusional people that I worry about.
It can happen fast. I think that, this is me personally, when you go into an investigation, going into a haunted location, whatever is your lucky piece, whatever you swear by, your 4-leaf clover, if it's a cross, if it's a coin in your pocket, if it's a marble in your pocket, whatever, bring it.
Yeah.
Bring it.
Because it's kind of a symbolism for you that it makes you feel good. A lot of people will carry the cross. I personally, I wear this, which is an amethyst necklace, which is supposed to give you good energy, which it does, I think. A lot of people carry St. Christopher medals. A lot of people do the St. Michael's prayer before they go into any location. Totally good idea.
It's really up to you.
It's just up to you.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
And, anytime that you come in connection with a spirit or a ghost, whatever you want to call them, I have my definition of both. But anytime you do that, you're risking the chance of opening a door to something worse. And believe me, if you don't think that there's bad spirits out there or dark entities or whatever you want to call them, you would be sorely mistaken.
I've seen things I can't explain.
Yeah. I mean, I can honestly say I am not a real big believer in all the demonic activity that's going on right now. But I haven't been there. I wasn't there with these people. I have no idea what they've experienced, what they're doing. And that's the trick about being open-minded is I have to express to myself that I have my doubts, but I'm not going to come out and tell somebody that you're wrong or you're not doing this right or whatever. Because I'm sure when we investigate with people, we do it their way if it's their team, because it's just common sense and it's respectful.
Yeah.
When they come with us, we ask that they do the same, that they investigate like we do. And that's the problem with, the community now. It's so divided, and it's very sad. I mean, it's very sad because we've seen so many people that had really good intentions and came out and investigated, had great teams, and now they're gone. Because they left because they couldn't take the bull anymore. It's just gotten crazy.
Yeah.
Russ and I recently made an announcement that we weren't going to do investigations anymore. But, we will with our friends and stuff. We'll still go out, do our explorations like we always have together.
Yeah, our investigation is going to have to be like special requests kind of thing. We're not looking for anything like that.
We got too many medical issues to really go into that. But the thing is that we're trying to make a show or a webisode that people get to learn things that maybe they didn't know, or maybe they could call in on our phone while we're doing our recordings and say, hey, this is what happened to me.
Yeah.
Email us at zghostchattv@gmail.com. Tell us your stories. We want to hear them. We want to hear what happened to you. And it doesn't have to always be bad. Tell us the good things too. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, because your story that you share, right, might help the next guy coming along that has the same thing happen, but he's going to know what to expect or how to deal with it from your story.
Right. And if you write us or you call us at, by the way, 360-399-1809.
That's us.
We'll let you guys know on Facebook when we're going to be doing a recording. If you want to call at that time, then we'll be glad to talk to you on the phone. We'll have you on speaker, and people will be able to hear you and tell us your story. Because the more that we get things out there that are possible dangers, the better that the community is going to get again. It's called sharing. People call it unity. I agree. Unity is a good thing. But you're not going to have unity unless you can stop the backbiting and stop the ego. This is not about getting on TV. This is about helping and sharing and learning and growing and stop going backwards. I mean, the paranormal community has gone backwards over the last 5 years. Terribly.
Yeah, it really has. We've had all that. We obviously we haven't had the big TV contract, none of that stuff. We had the production crews following us around.
Yeah.
We found out the truth on what's wanted.
Yeah.
And I'm not scalping anybody. I ain't putting nobody down. But that business right there is dog eat dog blood sucking stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
is. It's about ratings. It's about money. It's about advertising. It's about money. Yeah. What we do is about the truth.
Yeah. Whether people think it is or not, they have their differences of opinion. That's okay.
Yeah.
Because if I differ from you on what you think about the paranormal, what you think about evidence,
hey,
I like to know.
And if you get a TV show, hey, come by and visit us. Maybe remember that we're here. Throw some on. Just kidding.
No, I'm just kidding. We really don't want to be on TV. That's why we do these why we're doing these webisodes. The only reason we're doing them is just for information.
Yeah.
And I want to share our friends' successes and issues and you name it. I mean, I want our friends out there to know that we support them and we hope that they will do the same for us. Speaking of support, and just a little plug for us, right now on our Facebook page, which is Z Ghost Chat Series on Facebook, just type that in, Z Ghost Chat Series. We have posted a link to a group t-shirt form that you can fill out and purchase a t-shirt. It says, I heard it on the Z, and it's got a little ghost sitting on top of it. So it's a cool t-shirt. If you would support us, we are trying to buy better broadcasting equipment so that when we do go out live and stuff, we have things that we need. Right now we're using a webcam, obviously. So
slowly we're going to build up. Slowly,
we're going to get bigger, and we hope to start doing maybe even documentaries eventually.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
because
on our travels.
We really dig history, and we like helping people. But we really dig history, and we dig ghosts. So it's kind of.
But anyway, that link is on our Facebook page. Please go there and please support us. T-shirts are only $11.51. You can't beat that. That's cheap for a t-shirt. So if you support us, we really appreciate it. And I think all the details are on the page that the link goes to. Let's see what else. In the near future, I'm not sure because I haven't totally scheduled a date yet, but we're going to be having David H. Lowry on with us.
Oh yeah, the Highwayman, the
paranormal highwayman.
Yeah.
Yeah, our good friend from Illinois. he's had some interesting experiences himself, and we're going to talk to him about that. But we won't go into that right now.
We'll leave that to him when he comes on.
Right, and we're going to be having a lot of great people on, so we hope that you'll join us every week. This show is going to be a little bit short because I don't want to get into too much detail about what we're going to be focusing on, other than the fact that we will definitely be focusing on the possible dangers you can encounter while doing paranormal investigations. That's where we're going.
And what we'll probably do is take it to some haunted locations, do some filming, and talk about these things, and point out some of the natural hazards that are in your way, as you know, that go hand in hand with the paranormal. That you don't look for because it's pitch black.
Right.
That's the reason scouting during the day is a good thing.
And Russ and I wanted you guys to know that most people think that you have to do investigations at night. You don't.
You get a lot of stuff during the day.
Russ and I have gotten really good stuff during the day. The most recent was at the Bayview Cemetery in Bellingham, Washington. We live in Washington, by the way.
Evergreen State. Yay.
Where it rains all the time.
High gas taxes.
Yay. Yeah. But we went there, and I was just taking photos because I'm a real photo buff. I love to take photos of really cool things, you know.
Take excellent photos.
Yeah, and I was just happened to be taking photos of, it was like in November, so the leaves were still on the ground from the, the fall and all that, and I just happened to take this one picture, and I was going over them like I always do. Russ will tell you, I'm as soon as I get home, I'm like right to the computer, downloading photos and looking at them. I want to see if we got anything, and so in this particular picture, I got the apparition of a girl in a long dress, like Victorian style, and her hair is down. She looks approximately 18, 19 years old. And I found out right where she was standing was a headstone. And we went back to look a few days later, and on the name on the wood, I can't talk. Name on the headstone was Winifred A. Nolte. She was aged 19 when she died. So I want to go back there and try and recommunicate with her. See if we can get her to cross over. Obviously, she's still there, and that's not good.
Summertime's coming, and a really good time to investigate in the evening and dusk, and especially in the summertime because it's nice and cool. It ain't too hot, and you still got a little bit of light, but it's kind of dark. It's a good time, because it's quiet then. It really depends on your location, but some places, unfortunately, if you do a bar or anything that has a bar around it, you're looking at 2 o'clock in the morning before you can even start. So it varies.
We've investigated a couple places where we couldn't get in there till like 2 o'clock in the morning because it was a bar and they had to close down and everything else. But one of the best pictures we ever got was gotten at one of those places, and it's an apparition picture. And everybody that's seen it, it's so obvious that you can't miss it. I mean, it's not like one of those things where you see a window and you're kind of questioning whether it's a face or it's a reflection.
Yeah.
This is obvious.
Very much so.
And Russ and I have been really lucky about getting those apparition photos.
And quite a few of our friends have been very fortunate to get great shots.
Yeah, some great shadow people and in cemeteries. And
compared to some of the stuff that I've seen floating around the internet, and I give props to whoever even puts up pictures. I don't pick on anything, but we've got some really right. I'm just saying we've gotten some really good stuff over the years. So. Not bad.
And the crazy thing is you never know what you're going to get.
Nope.
And one of the things that we got at a very well-known location, haunted location, I'm not going to mention it on the Webisode because I don't have the owner's permission, but was this interesting video that we got of this little jiggy-looking lightning bolt looking thing.
I've only seen it I've seen it twice. Let's put it that way. 2 different locations.
Right.
I don't.
And we can tell you
Perfect little lightning bolts.
Yeah, we can tell you that it does that there was no cat hair or anything like that.
No, these were lightning bolts.
Yeah, I mean this is totally. It wasn't a dust ball. It wasn't an orb. It wasn't, you know.
And the interesting thing is that these two locations, well, one being the young lady that we mentioned before at her home, and you know what happened there, and the other one is at a home, and they're both haunted. The activity is no question about the activity.
Right.
So I found it kind of interesting. Just lightning bolts danced across the ceiling.
I mean, some weird things that we've seen. You know, we've seen what people would say, "Oh, that's just dust," but I can't really say that because there was a fan on, and the orb went into the air of the fan and through it.
It opposed the way that the fan was blowing and running at the time because
Right.
it was not sucking the air in backwards. It was, in fact, pushing it out. And it flew in.
I am not a big fan of orbs.
No.
A lot of people know that. But when I see something like that, I have to question what I'm seeing. I wouldn't be a good investigator if I didn't. Now, you have to go through all the details and say, okay, why does it go into the air, through the fan, and the video sees it coming out the other side?
Whereas if it is indeed a piece of dust, the
Right.
the air from the fan would just automatically blow it out. So
yeah. So I mean, you could see the dust coming out of the fan.
Yeah.
But
Easily.
when you see something going into the fan when the fan's on high,
and it was brighter.
Yeah,
it was brighter. A brighter ball, and it flew into the fan.
So those are the kind of things, you know, that
weird.
We think is just strange. We don't actually say they're paranormal, but
we've caught in a vortex or a door or I don't know what coming up a stairs.
Yeah,
at a location it's
where the stairwell is supposed to be very haunted. So
it made it the Sylvia Brown. You got her attention.
Yeah. Well, no, it went to the Montel Williams show. She was just happened to be there.
It was pretty cool though.
Yeah. She said it was a spirit.
Oh, here's the other thing. If you get something and you want it validated, you know, you want to make sure of what you got, take all your equipment to a professional. Just hand it over.
That's what we did.
That's what we've always done. Hand it over and say, okay, tell me what it is. Or what
tell me if my equipment is malfunctioning first. Look at the clip and tell me what you think, and prove it to me. I mean, you know, tell me what you think it is.
I mean, a lot of these guys do this for nothing. You know, if you ask them, you just take a minute, or it might cost you $10 for their time, or $20 or whatever. But it is worth it in the long run because you can say, I've had this professionally, digitally, because they'll run it through their computer programs to prove beyond a doubt of what's going on. With our pictures, we do that. With our video, we only do
that with pictures that aren't obvious.
Right.
That we want to make sure that we're seeing what we're seeing.
Yeah.
You know,
it has to be a really good picture.
Yeah.
Or a really compelling piece of video for us to do that.
I mean, if it's not as obvious, or wouldn't be as obvious to the layperson or the, you know, somebody who's trying to, you know, say, oh, it can't be that. I want to prove it to them.
Because we're human beings, we make mistakes all the time.
Yeah.
What we see and what we rationalize as to what's going on, can another fellow or another person can come up and go, I know what that is. And show you real fast, fix it, and you go, well, there you go. Yeah, that was the problem. So it's good to have that stuff checked out by people that know. So
anyway, I'm SJ. This is Russ. You have been watching The Z Ghost Chat series.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
You heard it on the Z.
You heard it on the Z,
That's
baby.
Right.
So anyway, thanks for watching, and this will be going on YouTube tonight. And don't forget to, on March 9th, we'll be posting a video of our good friends Ross Allison and June Nixon from A Ghost. And they also run Spooked in Seattle ghost tours. Great, great tours. So we're going to say goodnight and see you in a couple days when we do another one. Bye, guys.
Bye.